It having reached the hour of 5:30 p.m., I am calling the November 12, 2024 Modesto City Council meeting to order and ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
Councilmember Wright.
Here.
Councilmember Gutierrez-Brayton.
Here.
Vice Mayor Alvarez is not in attendance. Councilmember Ricky.
Here.
Councilmember Bavaro.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
And Mayor Zwellen.
Here. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation from Pat Nagel from Redeemer Church. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Will you join me in prayer? Father God, we just come to you this evening, and I just want to start by saying thank you. Thank you for even the spirit of joy that is so clearly in this room this evening. I pray would that just continue and be even contagious within our community as we go out from here. I say thank you for our mayor. Thank you for our council. Thank you for each of their families and the ways that they all sacrifice so that more can be done for the sake of good in our community. And we just pray for that to abound this evening, for good to happen here. This is a great opportunity, and we want to make the most of it. So give us wisdom, give us grace, give us the ability to have dignity with one another, have patience with one another, and ultimately, just to create some good here. Lord, will this place just become more loving as a result of this evening? We give all this to you. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. Does the city clerk have any announcements?
Yes, Mayor. Just a reminder, public comment is 3 minutes, and there are blue speaker cards at the entrance of the chambers.
Thank you. Do any of the council members have any conflicts of interest? Seeing none, thank you. Will the city attorney report out on closed session?
Oh, yes, Mayor. The council had closed session today and considered items related to litigation and property negotiations. No reportable action was taken.
All right, thank you. The first item on the agenda is the oath of office, and that will be administered pursuant to the section 600 of the city charter. The mayor shall hold office for a term of 4 years from and after the first Tuesday following the November council election. And we will now have the administration of the oath of office by our city clerk, Diane Perez, and then I will make a few brief remarks.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which
upon which
I'm about to enter.
I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. begin this evening, I first want to thank my family. Lynn, my husband, and I started this journey 53 years ago tomorrow, when we were seniors in high school, is when we started dating. So I can tell you for a sure fact that he did not know he would be getting into all that he has gotten into with me. But nonetheless, here we are. So as your mayor, I'm honored to be here this evening. Being reelected is not about doing this again. It is about continuing the great work of our city, our community, and our residents are doing every day. I'm amazed at the level of greatness we strive to achieve, and I'm so proud of all the success and we experience when we work as one community and one city for all individuals who live here, work here, and raise their families here. Service is the core of our community. It is what drives us and holds us accountable to you, the voters. We are held beyond reasonable expectations, and we should be, because we are responsible for making tough decisions that are in the best interests of our beautiful, diverse, and extraordinary community. We are accountable to you, the voters, and every day we are challenged, we are praised, and our intentions are always questioned. But one thing I know for sure is that we, this council, and our city's leadership never wavers from our dedication to service, to enhancing the quality of life for every resident, for boosting our economic vitality and being the best stewards of governance that we can possibly be. We are fortunate to be part of this community with so many opportunities to be grateful for. One of the most bountiful opportunities is Measure H, the voter-approved 1-cent general sales tax. It has been and continues to be, without a doubt, an actionable voter initiative that has impacted our city in so many ways. From a simple task of pruning a tree to a larger task as funding a comprehensive park renovation, no matter the size of these projects, each one of them is an encouragement for a better Modesto. Measure H is just one example of how the collective voice of our community has altered the course of our lives, reflecting the needs and priorities for the well-being of all residents. By aligning the voters' actions to our leadership through service, together we are changing the community around us for good. In closing, I just want to say thank you for your enthusiasm for hope, your participation in our city's progress, and the continued commitment to being part of something greater than ourselves in Modesto. Thank you. At this time, are there any remarks from council members? Council Member Escutia Brayton.
Thank you, Mayor. It has been an absolute honor and privilege to serve alongside you. I think this journey that I have experienced with the council, you have made it exponentially more rewarding and more beautiful, and I'm so glad that I was able to take this journey with you. You have served the people of Modesto with heartfelt integrity, and I think you, just your leadership has you have led with a servant's heart, and you've led with I know that I speak on behalf of the entire council when I say that we respect you and defer to your strength and your leadership, and thank you for being the person you are and choosing to continue on this journey for another 4 years with us.
Thank you. Council Member Ricky.
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to say, congratulations on winning your race. We've come a long way from where we started, and we've done a lot together. And I think a lot of what we've done has been based on your leadership and your ability to just keep this council together. And I really respect that leadership style that you have and your ability to just keep achieving great things. And the fact that you've got another 4 years to, keep pushing us forward, I think we're going to do some amazing things, and I'm just really looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor, and I'm glad I can say thank you, Mayor Susan Wallen, and because you won your race, and we all are definitely appreciative of your service to the City of Modesto. I remember when we first met, and that was when you were running for school board, and it was at a Modesto Chamber of Commerce meeting, and now here's history. There's a cliche that says action speaks louder than words, and so there are really not a whole lot of words I could say because her actions have spoken that. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Wright.
Thank you, Mayor. When you're on a city council, you have 6 council members that have 6 different directions a lot of times on which way to go. And what makes a council strong is when you have a mayor that knows how to bring them all together and work together to make it a better city. And I think that we've had probably one of the best mayors that we've seen in a long time in the city of Modesto, because she knows how to work with all of us to make us work together to get things done for this city. Each council member, and especially our mayor, has a heart for this city. We want nothing but the best for this city, and it takes a good mayor that knows how to handle 6 type A personalities. I like to say it's like a stagecoach. You have 6 horses, and you have one person holding the reins, and that's the mayor. And she knows how to direct and make this a better city for all of us. I'm so honored to serve with you. I don't think I could ever serve with anyone as great as you. And I told you that the day you were elected, we sat down in your office, that my #1 job was I wanted to make this city and you a success. And we've all worked together, and you have been a very, very successful mayor. And I think we need to get rid of term limits so that you can stay around for another 4 years after this 4 years. But
This is it.
It's my privilege to work with you, and I'm glad that we're working together. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Bavaro.
Thank you, Mayor. First and foremost, congratulations on your reelection. And this is a great council that works well together under the leadership of the mayor, who keeps us going in the same direction. We've accomplished many things in the last 4 years under the leadership of the mayor. Now, my council member right here said six men and 1 female, 6 males and 1 female. Well, that's the makeup of her family. She has 6 boys and
5 boys and 1 girl.
There we go.
There
we go. You corrected me on that. And so, but the mayor has the temperament to do this job like no other mayor that I've seen in Modesto. I was born and raised here just like you, Mayor. And you have unique leadership qualities. And what I can say about the mayor, and I've told her this many times when we have conversations, that she is more forgiving than my wife. And speaking of my wife, who is here, and my grandson, who's at his first council meeting, my wife has been asking me all day, what time is she wanted to be here to see the mayor get sworn in. With me, I had to bribe her 2 years ago to come see me. So it just tells you. But we have a great team. We have a great city manager, great city attorney, a great clerk, and the mayor keeps it moving forward. And it's just a real privilege for me to serve with somebody of this high caliber. So, Mayor, again, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to just pick up where my colleague, Councilmember Bavaro, left off. High caliber is really, I think, is the way to kind of describe you. Oftentimes, we we lead in a variety of capacities, and this on council is one of them. We all sit on boards, we all sit on committees, we all, work and contribute in other ways, but in this regard, I mean, in my young life so far, 32, you were probably the best example of a stateswoman that I've met to date, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart and my humility. And when I work with you, it's like working with a tia. It's like working with somebody I trust, somebody I've known for a lifetime, despite knowing and leading with you for the last couple of years. It feels like we've served together in another lifetime. It literally has, and I appreciate it, and I'm humbled to be able to serve as your vice mayor during the 2024 year, and I'm looking forward to another 4 years working alongside you, even though I have 2 more years left in my term. A little foreshadow for y'all. So I appreciate you, Mayor, and I look up to you. And again, I'll underscore a true stateswoman we have here, folks, a true stateswoman.
Oh, wow. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate your comments very much. Next on the agenda is acknowledgements and presentations. Item 2, a proclamation declaring November 30th as Small Business Saturday. And I will read the proclamation. I have 2, and I'll explain that later, but they are the same. So, proclaiming November 30th, 2024 as Small Business Saturday. The City of Modesto acknowledges the essential role that small business play in fostering job growth, strengthening the local economy, and building a sense of community. And small businesses serve as the foundation of our community, contributing to its unique character and offering a wide range of products and services. And Small Business Saturday is a nationwide movement that encourages consumers to shop locally and support entrepreneurs on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And by supporting small businesses, we strengthen our community, encourage economic growth, and promote job creation. And the City of Modesto takes this opportunity to celebrate the invaluable contributions of small businesses and to express our appreciation for the entrepreneurs and innovators who enrich our local economy. And now, therefore, I, Suze Wallen, Mayor of the City of Modesto, do hereby proclaim November 30th, 2024 as Small Business Saturday and encourage all residents and visitors to support local small businesses both on this day and throughout the year. And this is dated this 12th day of November, 2024, and signed by me. We will have accepting the proclamations, Trish Christensen, President and Chief Executive Officer from the Modesto Chamber of Commerce, and I'm not sure if I see him here, Johnny Garcia?
He's here.
Oh, there you are. I didn't see you back there. Johnny Garcia, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Stanislaus Latino Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening and congratulations, Mayor. We're all very excited. It is an honor and a privilege for me to be here before all of you tonight. When I think about the precious nation that we all live in, our beautiful state of California, our amazing county of Stanislaus, and this great city of Modesto, it is the business realm that sustains and provides prosperity to our people and to our residents. It is small business that builds the foundation to launch to business, and it is the entrepreneurial spirit here that fuels that fire. So to our community, I really encourage shop local, shop your small businesses, shop Greater Modesto. If you want to shop from home, if you're going to shop big box, do it in your community so our tax dollars stay here. And congratulations again, and let's have a great Small Business Saturday kickoff to the holiday season. Johnny?
All right, well, good evening, everybody, and congratulations, Mayor. Thank you to the board for allowing us to be here to accept this proclamation. I'm honored and proud to be here. I'll just echo what Trish said. You know, our organizations are all about uplifting and helping businesses of all kinds, but especially small businesses, because those are the backbone of our community. And we always encourage everybody not to just do it one day a year on the Saturday, but to do it every single day, because our small businesses are the ones that help us run this community. So I was just on a call a little while ago with the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and I could not, our community is probably one of the best communities around, our county and our city, so I'm proud to be here and represent our organization, our members, and our community. So on behalf of the Stanislaus Latino Chamber, thank you, we appreciate it.
All right, are there any comments from council members regarding item 2? Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Johnny and Trish, for all that you do in the community to help these businesses feel welcomed. That is the most important piece, when they've given all that they could and all that they have to build their business. It's always nice when there's a smiling face and optimism for them to be able to excel in this community. And you two, both of you, do that very, very well, and I'm appreciative of that because I understand business, and it is great that you do that, and you are part of this community. You don't put your profession in it, you put your heart in it, so thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you. I also wanted to take this moment to promote Small Business Saturday in our downtown Modesto district will be abuzz with people that do handmade goods, and literally hundreds of people. It's really fun to be downtown on that day and to shop locally. So seeing no other council member comments, we will come down and present the certificates, and then we will take an approximately 5-minute break and resume with the remainder of the meeting so that I can hopefully speak to those that were here for my taking the oath of office. And as my grandchildren have been so delightful, if they need to leave, they're just amazing, then they'll be able to do that too. So thank you so much. But hold on for right now. Just wait for a moment when we present the certificates. Thank you.
Helping her play. Looks the sign right at her. She's all upset. I'm like, don't start. It's gonna get worse.
Thanks, Trish. Thanks for all that you do. You're amazing. You guys are amazing.
Up here, I'll put you in the middle.
Okay. Right. Yeah. You too. Hi, you too, Nick. Firstly, David. I think you're starting this. I don't know. All right, thank you so much again. Appreciate you.
Thank you for doing that.
All right.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Next is item 3, consider approving the appointment of Edward Rubalcaba to the Downtown Improvement District Board of Directors for a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2028. Does council have any questions of staff? I'll open this up to the public. Any members of the public to come forward to speak under item 3? I will close public comments. Any comments from council members? All right. I have a resolution approving the appointment of Edward Rubalcaba to the Downtown Improvement District Advisory Board for a 4-year term ending December 31st, 2028. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Wright.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Ricky. Will the clerk please call the roll for this item?
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmembers Gutierrez-Brayton.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwellen.
Aye. Carries 7-0. As noted on the agenda, public comment will be in person only. Zoom will still be available for viewing and wordly translation. Thank you for being here tonight. The City of Modesto Council meetings are a place where everyone is encouraged to listen, share views, and participate in the decision-making process that benefits our community. Your engagement is valuable, and it helps our council and city staff collaborate on finding solutions that enhance the quality of life for the residents of Modesto. To be fair and equitable, every individual has the right to speak at this council meeting. However, it is an imperative that we foster and maintain a respectful environment for the well-being and safety for everyone present at these proceedings. It is the mayor's responsibility to preserve strict order and decorum at all council meetings. Pursuant to the Charter of the City of Modesto, Article 6, the Mayor, Section 601, Powers and Duties of Mayor. The mayor shall have the authority to preserve order at all council meetings and to remove or cause the removal of any person from any meeting of the council for disorderly conduct, to enforce the rules of the council, and to determine the order of business under the rules of the council. Accordingly, the city council meeting decorum rules are as follows. Please be respectful of all presenters, council members, staff, and members of the public. Please refrain from clapping other than following a presentation. All speakers are encouraged to state their name and city of residence. All questions must be directed to the mayor. Please do not block the view of others by holding signs up during council meetings. Time limits for public comments is 3 minutes, but may be limited at the discretion of the mayor to manage the business of the council. Speaking over others or interrupting while others have the floor is not permitted. Cell phones should be turned off or shall be set to vibrate during meetings. Thank you for your patience and participation as we work together to address the issues impacting the community. Maintaining order and decorum during the city council meeting is crucial in the effective governance of Modesto and ensuring the council's decisions are reflective of the community's priorities. Anyone disrupting the council meeting may be asked to leave. Does anyone wish to speak on any item under public comment? This is for items not on the council agenda, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Anyone wishing to address the city council is asked to follow the rules of decorum. The rules of decorum are posted at the entrance of the chambers. Currently, I have 2 blue cards, so I will call them in the order that I received them. Danielle Morgart.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. My name is Danielle Morgart from the Office of Assemblyman Juan Alanis, and I'm here tonight to congratulate Mayor Souza Wallen on your next 4 years. The Assemblyman and his team look forward to continuing to work and best serve the city residents of Modesto. I also wanted to report out, while I don't have a legislative update, I did want to remind everyone our district office services. The Assemblyman's district office is located on the 5th floor, and to anyone who resides in the Assembly District 22, whether it's out in Patterson, of course, City of Modesto, Ceres, Turlock. If you have any issues with any state agencies such as EDD, Franchise Tax Board, or the DMV, in regards to just having any issues in contact, definitely reach out to our office, and we are more than happy to better serve. Thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Next is Nancy Robinson.
Good evening, Mayor Zwallen, and congratulations, and it's good to be back to see the City Council again. My name is Nancy Robinson. I'm president of the Modesto Garden Club. This evening, I want to personally invite you to share in the beauty of the upcoming holiday season by joining us at our upcoming special events, which are available to the public. We're holding our annual Elegant Holiday Table Viewing at Del Rio Country Club on Wednesday, December 11th from 1 until 7. You can purchase tickets at the door of the country club for $10 each. We will have 31 beautifully decorated tables for you to view and enjoy. Come join us for some light refreshments and get inspired by these fabulous arrangements. Then the holiday home tour will be held on Saturday, December 14th. That's just 3 days after our table viewing. Tickets are $20 and may be purchased at a number of local merchants as well as the Garden Club office and on our website. We will have 4 beautifully decorated homes to help celebrate the season. The time of the tour will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Proceeds from these events will help support over a dozen philanthropic community projects the Modesto Garden Club performs each year. We would like our community to support our club and all we do for the city of Modesto. Just to bring you up to speed on a couple of current activities, we just planted over 150 pots downtown with new fall colors. The Eileen Gallo Memorial Clock at the Convention Center has been rejuvenated and looks beautiful. Now let us talk about a new project that has been started. The Commemorative Air Force Central Valley Squadron is in the process of re-landscaping their hangar near the Modesto Airport. The Modesto Garden Club will be part of this project on the south side of the hangar by providing a Blue Star Memorial marker to be incorporated in the new design. The Blue Star Memorial is a program that honors the men and women who have served, are currently serving, or will serve the United States Armed Forces. This coming spring, there will be a public dedication ceremony commemorating this special event. One last reminder, don't forget to support our Elegant Holiday Table Viewing at Del Rio Country Club Wednesday, December 11th, and the Holiday Home Tour on Saturday, December 14th. Modesto Garden Club appreciates the community's support. Thank you for your attention this evening.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to come forward to speak under public comment? Right, welcome.
Maybe I could I hold it? Maybe?
If you like.
Yeah, why don't I?
I think it picks you up just
Is it
fine.
picking me up like this? Can you hear me?
We
Okay, great.
can. I wonder if everyone can hear on streaming.
Yeah, maybe I could, can I lean forward? Let me lean forward. No? Sorry, I guess I should have let you know in advance. I know that's it's what we're supposed to, thank you so much. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I honestly, coming here, I didn't realize. So congratulations. I'm here to talk about an article that was in the Bee last week regarding the invocation at these meetings. And there were a lot of concerns pointed out in the article about seeming to be like some people felt excluded from the process. It pointed out that 20% of the citizens of the city are Catholic, and there's barely been a priest giving an invocation. And it seems like, being the majority religion, it would seem like there should be priests here more often. That just, and then other religions that aren't Christian were sort of, they didn't feel like they were really included. And for me, the last one, the humanist, which I am, hadn't been contacted at all. So, being disabled, I don't live in the world like everybody else, clearly. I can't stand at that podium. So, and similarly as a humanist, I feel that way sometimes, where where do I fit in? Do I belong? So the main point I want you to bring home, I really appreciate you talking about inclusion and really working, because you really are working for the community. And we appreciate that as taxpayers, whether you hear it from us enough or not. We do appreciate that. And so for me, being a humanist, I believe that we should take the lead of other cities and not do the invocation. That's my opinion, and I'll leave it at that. If it is to go on, if it's going to continue, the clerk probably won't like that I say this, but it should really be done by the clerk. The clerk should make the invitations, and it should be, because it's an agenda item, I think that the council should have a little bit more oversight in the process. So ironically, I just want to end with, ironically, I would like to end with scripture. In the Sermon on the Mount, when Jesus gives the Lord's Prayer to his followers, he instructs them how to pray. And he says, when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the streets and in the synagogues. I'm paraphrasing. That they may be seen by men. So to me, that's saying, hypocrites stand in front of people to pray. But then he goes on to say, but for you, my followers, and again, I'm not, but I think it's good advice, right? For you, my followers, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, pray to the Father in secret. And he will see you.
All right. Can you conclude your comments?
Those are my comments.
Thank you.
So I hope that going forward, you will consider that process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else wishing to come forward under public comment?
Kevin McClarty, District 1. Mayor Samalan, I also want to congratulate you on your re-election. And I was listening to the meeting on Zoom during that part of the meeting, and I also want to congratulate Council Members Bratton, Ricky, and Wright on your re-elections. And I want to pick up on a comment that was made by Councilmember Wright about getting rid of term limits. I know that he said it in jest, but I believe that you ought to take a serious look at that, because of the fact that many times a person will serve and then many decades later they want to come back. And I don't think that they should be prohibited from being able to do that because of term limits. So let's take an example of Governor Jerry Brown. He was governor, and I think 30 or 40 years later he came back and he ran for governor again. Well, you no longer can do that because now we have term limits on the governor, but he's a good example of somebody who decades later decided that he wanted to be governor again, and he came back and he served another 8 years. Another example would be Dick Monteith, who served, I believe, on the County Board of Supervisors, and he was elected to the state senate. He served there for many years. He retired, and then he came back and he was re-elected to the Board of Supervisors again. He would not have been able to do that if there had been term limits imposed on him. And so I think that you ought to consider getting rid of term limits, simply because, especially the younger members, they may want to come back someday and serve again, maybe after they've retired or something. And so I don't know what the process would be by which you would repudiate that clause that requires term limits, but I'd suggest that you take a look at it, because you never know when somebody might have something to contribute later in life, and it would be a shame if they were not able to do so. That's just my opinion, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Point of clarification, Mayor.
Okay.
To the city attorney, can you explain more detail about term limits, and if somebody is after 8 years sitting out a term, then they can also run again? Am I correct on that?
Yep, and through the mayor, just.
Yes, please.
Real quick, section 503 of the charter, limitation of term office, actually states exactly that. No person elected to the office of the council member or mayor for 2 consecutive terms shall again be eligible to hold that same office until one full intervening term of 4 years has elapsed.
Thank you. Any other public comments at this time regarding items not on tonight's agenda? All right.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Zaf, and first I want to congratulate Mayor on 4 more years, and I wish you the best, because your success, it's the city's success and our success. And I hope that maybe the next 4 years you can put a lot of time, try to find a solution for homelessness in the city. And I think it's something that can be done. You know, a few weeks ago, I was attending the planning committee workshop about Modesto in the next 25, 30 years. And I thought, and since then, I remember the workshop about homelessness. And the moment I left that meeting, I had a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't feel like I'm actually in a real workshop. And I know that you and Councilmember Williams attend that workshop. And I think both of you can understand the difference between those 2 workshops. That was a real workshop, when people exchange ideas and can say whatever they want to say, and then the people who need to make decisions going back, talking about whatever they're talking about, I don't know, but that's a workshop. And I really believe that homelessness, it's a problem that we can fix in a few years. At the workshop, we talk about Modesto in 25, 30 years. I think homelessness, in 5 years, we probably shouldn't have nobody on the street. And from there, we can move on to open all kind of low-income housing, find the people that need mental help. Obviously, some people going to need help for the rest of their life. We have to understand it. But if we have a real program, something to put together, and we can do it, just like the workshop, we can sit together, talk about it, and say, you know what, I have 4 more years in office, I want people off the street in those 4 years. And I think it can be done. And I'd be the happiest person if this is going to be something that people are going to remember about you. I'd be the first one to tell everybody that you did it, and I'd be more than happy to help you with whatever I can help you. So good luck and thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Mayor, congratulations. Council, I'd like to bring things up to date and make an announcement that we are moving forward with the police lowrider project, and we'd like to thank Marion Cannon with the Stanislaus Community Foundation for helping us raise $15,000 to fund the project with Modesto High School and the students in the shop class. We'll be starting this project hopefully by fall, preferably spring of 2025. And we're looking forward to getting this going with the high school students, along with working on MJC to be a co-educator with these students on this project. So hopefully things go as planned. The students will be able to learn a skill in the meantime, but also learn credits. So we couldn't have done this without a joint effort from the school administrators, the shop teachers, and MJC administrators, along with the police department, the police chief and the assistant chief. They've been a great help because they're the ones that donated the police car for this project. And we're looking forward, when it is done, we're going to give it back to the police department, and they're going to use it for these youths to show what can be done at these high schools. And hopefully it'll keep another project going for future students. So we want to make and thank Stanislaus Community Foundation for helping us, and we're glad to have them aboard on this project. And we also look and appreciate the support from the city council members that are involved also, that have been there with us to help us make these connections with the right people. So we just want to congratulate you again, Mayor.
Thank you. Right, any other comments for items not on the agenda? Right, seeing none, next on the agenda is consent items. An item may be removed from consent and discussed at the request of a member of the public or council member. Is there anyone on the council that would like a consent item removed for further discussion? Seeing none, is there anyone in the public that would like an item removed from consent for further discussion or comment? Seeing none, will the city clerk please read consent items 4 through 18. After that, the city attorney will read and provide a brief statement on consent items 19 and 20 before I ask for a motion on all the consent items.
Item 4, consider approving the minutes for the November 5th, 2024 council meeting. Item 5, consider approving an agreement for the engineering design services for the downtown revitalization project for Westwood Professional Services Incorporated out of Plano, Texas, for a total amount not to exceed $194,315. Item 6, consider approving an agreement with Stanislaus Equity Partners from Modesto, California for an affordable housing trust fund program that supports the production and preservation of affordable housing for a total amount not to exceed $500,000. Item 7, consider approving a First Amendment to the residential rehabilitation loan agreement with Charles Mark Materi for health and safety repairs to the residential property located at 1710 Idlewood Court, Modesto, California, 95350 for an additional $11,564 for a total project cost of $110,068. Item 8, consider approving the First Amendment to the Modesto Forward Agreement for continued operations for a low-barrier, safe sleeping program with the Modesto Gospel Mission, Modesto, California, increasing the agreement amount by $100,000 for a total amount not to exceed $200,000. Item 9, consider approving the summary vacation of Wagner Way, approximately 39,451 square feet right-of-way, public utility easement, and planting easement. Item 10, consider approving an agreement for the circle clamps, gaskets, pipe couplings, and tapping sleeves with Ferguson Waterworks from Modesto, California, and Pace Supply from Stockton, California, for a combined total amount not to exceed $3,357,737 over 5 years. Item 11, consider accepting the fiscal year 2024-2025 CAL FIRE Volunteer Fire Capacity Program Grant Award in the amount of $20,000 with a 50% local match for the procurement of wildland personal protective equipment. Item 12, consider approving an agreement for the City of Modesto Classification Plan and Position Allocation Plan to allocate 1 multimedia designer to the City Manager's Office, 1 laboratory quality control analyst in the Utilities Department, 1 operations supervisor in the Public Works Department, and reclassify 1 operations crew leader to 1 operations supervisor and 2 tree trimmer crew leaders to 2 senior tree trimmers in Public Works, and move the Parks Planning Division from the Parks, Recreation, and Neighborhoods Department to the Engineering Services Department, and moving the Water and Wastewater Division managers from range 452 to range 453 within utilities. Item 13, consider approving a Fourth Amendment to the agreement with Employee Relations at Glendale, California to conduct pre-employment background checks for revised total agreement amount not to exceed $100,000. Item 14, consider approving the plans and specs for the Downey Shade Structure and Parking Lot Replacement Project, accepting the bid and awarding a construction contract to West Side Landscaping and Concrete Incorporated out of Newman, California, in the amount of $572,393 plus $45,791 for contingency if needed, for a total payment amount not to exceed $618,184. Item 15, consider rejecting all bids received for the Virginia Corridor Phase 7 project and authorizing staff to re-advertise the project for bids at a future date. Item 16, consider approving a second amendment with William Scotsman Incorporated out of Fresno, California for the modular building at Dryden Golf Course, increasing the agreement amount by $35,000 and extending the term of the agreement from December 28, 2024 to June 14, 2026. Item 17, consider approving an engineering services agreement with Westwood Professional Services, formerly Odell Engineering of Modesto, California, for the Sonoma Sewer Trunk Phase 4B project in the amount not to exceed $80,300. Item 18, consider approving the First Amendment with AERC Acquisition Corporation at Hatboro, Pennsylvania, for the removal and recycling of universal waste, increasing the agreement amount by $95,000 to a revised total amount of $135,000 over 5 years.
And Mayor, item 19 is a third amendment to the employment agreement for city clerk. This amendment adjusts the compensation under the employment agreement as a result of an update to the 2023 citywide labor market study for the city clerk position. It includes a one-time payment of $5,930.68 as back pay to reflect the updated 2023 market study, and increases the current base salary by $3,952. The item number 20 is a third amendment to the employment agreement for city manager. The amendment adjusts the employment agreement as a result of a positive performance evaluation. It increases the severance benefit from 6 months to 12 months and includes medical coverage for that period of time. Severance is only triggered if the city manager is terminated without cause. It will also increase management leave benefits from 10 days to 20 days starting in 2025. For 2024, it will increase management leave from 10 days to 15 days.
Right. Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Motion to approve?
Second.
I did not catch who made the motion. Motion by Councilmember Wright, second by Vice Mayor Alvarez. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Liddy.
Aye.
Councilmember Navarro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
And Mayor Jones.
Aye. Carries unanimously. Next on the agenda is council comments and reports. Do any of the council members have any comments and reports? Councilmember Escudia Brayton.
Thank you, Mayor. Can anyone remember what happened 99 years ago?
No.
Well, 99 years ago was 1925. 1925. The iconic Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City took place for the very first time. The American classic Great Gatsby novel by Scott Fitzgerald was published. Also, the American swimmer Gertrude Ederle became the first woman to swim across the English Channel. In addition to all those amazing events, Modesto's very own Mrs. Clotilde Duarte was born in the Azore Islands of Portugal on November the 3rd, 1925. Yay! Yay! And she is here today joining us. On January 13, 1945, Miss Clotilde Vargas married Luis Duarte, and together they had 2 daughters, they had 6 children, and 15 great-grandchildren. Mr. and Mrs. Duarte arrived in the U.S. in November 1959. They moved to Modesto and they purchased their first home on Lord Avenue in 1965. They also enjoyed traveling with the Tracy Azorian Marching Band, in which Luis played for the Portuguese parades and the festas for over 20 years. Luis and Clotilde, also affectionately known as May, which means mom, or Babo, which means grandma, they were married for 62 years until Mr. Duarte was promoted to heaven in 2007. Mrs. Clotilde Duarte's profession was a seamstress. She created custom-made dresses, suits, and jackets for her clients in the Azores. Over the years, sewing over 2,500 dresses for young girls in orphanages around the world, which she donated through various churches and missionary organizations. Please help me in wishing Mrs. Duarte a very, very happy 99th birthday. And Mrs. Duarte was handed a lovely City of Modesto certificate and took a picture with the council earlier in the meeting. Thank you, Mrs. Duarte, for joining us and for your family for accompanying you. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll have to excuse ourselves.
Please feel free. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Oops.
Mayor, one of the last.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here.
Good day. Earlier this week, I had the privilege of celebrating Veterans Day with my colleagues, and I'm not going to get into detail because I know that other members of the council can explain the beautiful detail of the event. But it was my honor and privilege to acknowledge the contributions made for our veterans, and particularly those living in Modesto, and their courage and their sacrifice that they did to our nation and to our community here in Modesto, so that we can live in freedom and enjoy the comforts that we do. So with great gratitude, I was honored to have been at that event. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Ricky.
Thanks, Mayor. This weekend I was driving down 9th Street. I was on my way to the Luchador match at Persuasion Brewing. Really, really good times. But I drove by the transit center on the way on this weekend, and just like the homeless situation there was just absolutely unacceptable. And so we see these things all the time, and we just need to be cognizant of it, and we need additional solutions to try to get people off the streets. And it's already going to be getting into the 30s this week at night. We don't have enough shelter beds. And meanwhile, our seniors are seeing their rents increase, and they're ending up on the streets because there's nowhere for them to go, living on Social Security. And while I think we're making progress, we haven't seen decreases in our point-in-time count. And I just think that we need to be more aggressive on this. And again, I'm proud of our progress, but we just have a lot more work to do. I also talk about, as many people know, Sam Piersdorf and Rui Sheik recently purchased the Queen Bean Coffee House downtown, and they kind of started their journey of making it into not only a coffee house, but a place with delicious food and a welcome home to poetry and music and film. But unfortunately, last week, the Queen Bean got broken into and it had some items stolen. But fortunately, the Modesto Police Department reacted immediately. And not only did they quickly recover the items, but they also arrested a criminal within a warrant from the Bay Area. So to me, the moral of the story here is Modesto's probably not the best place to visit if you're here for the wrong reasons. Finally, I wanted to remind everyone that the Christmas parade's coming up. The theme this year is disco, so I'm looking forward to that. Is everybody ready for that? Disco?
Get down tonight.
Absolutely. Jeremiah's ready for that.
I just had a vision of my Jeremiah.
But if you're ready for that, you can sign up your entry at the city's website. Thanks, Mayor.
Councilmember Williams.
I don't know if I want to start off with the disco, but we'll move on from that for a second. I really enjoyed being in the 4th Street Park, and I know Vice Mayor is probably going to allude to that even in a better detail, but I was thankful to be a part of that groundbreaking that took place. I believe it was last Thursday at Cesar Chavez Park. We call it 4th Street Park, and there were a few families that have lived in that area that were present as well. It was well done, and I'm looking forward to seeing that done and hearing more details from Vice Mayor. Also, I did have the opportunity to participate and be a part of Veterans Day, and thank you, Councilwoman Scudia Brayton, for bringing that up. I'm also thankful to the fire department and their agency who cooked 300 hot dogs for those individuals that were there. There were about 300 people that showed up to that. We're thankful that we were able to honor our veterans. There was a veteran there by the name of Hal Conkey, who was 110 months old. And of course, he was able to stand on his own and be recognized. And we were thankful that he was there. He served in the Korean War. I do want to bring an update that next year will be the 80th year since World War II. The 80th year since World War II. And we have big plans for Veterans Day celebration coming up in 2025. I do want to give honor to Carlos and Autumn, who were the chairs and co-chairs for the event, and all of those that served on the committee to make that happen. We're thankful to the City of Modesto for being there. There were 4 of us there. The mayor was included. Councilmember Wright was there. Councilwoman Scudia Brayton was there. It was a great time to be able to honor men and women who fought for this country so that we tonight can enjoy this air-conditioned building and be able to do our governance here in the City of Modesto. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Bavaro.
Thank you, Mayor. Pittsburgh Pirates in 1925 won the World Series, just FYI.
Thank you for that factoid.
And I'd like to ditto on what Councilmember Ricky had said about regarding homelessness. I believe, we have Camp to Home, and I know that our staff has done a marvelous job in working with all the different programs in our city. But in my district, District 4, people on the streets I've seen more people on Yosemite Boulevard. They're by the smoke shops, and there's encampments on Perry Avenue. And I just think at some point we need to revisit the issue of street to camp and try to find a way to better manage those homeless people who are on the street, who are not ready or not interested in seeking shelter or treatment. I know that there are 3 districts in the City of Modesto that are impacted. It's District Ricky's, Eric Alvarez's district, and mine. And, if you go down Yosemite Boulevard, in some areas it looks like a third world nation. And this year we're going to be talking about and focusing on economic development. And when we get into those discussions, what are we going to do with the homeless that we see downtown as we plan to bring more jobs into the city? So I echo what Councilmember Ricky said, and hopefully at some point, all of us can get into a real good discussion and try to find ways to best manage those that we see on the streets. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to just say thank you to all the men and women, brave men and women who served in the armed forces. It was a great Veterans Day. I spent it with my family. I wasn't out publicly, but I have several cousins who are career Marines, and I just spent it close-knit, just kind of internally this year. I want to echo the sentiments of my colleague Jeremiah Williams on the Cesar Chavez groundbreaking ceremony that took place on Friday. My council member, my colleague, council member Escutia Brayton, Wright, Williams, Bavaro, the mayor were in attendance, along with city staff. And I want to give a big shout out to the city staff who worked diligently on this through all the renditions that have transpired over the course of the last, I think, about 5-6 years. This park's renovation was made possible through funding from the state, ARPA, Measure H. And although we, calibrated the financial strategy, we made it work at the end of the day through the prudence of the city manager's office and the Parks and Rec director, Jeremy Rogers. So I'm happy to report that groundbreaking has already taken place. Work has already begun. I drive by there frequently when I come into this downtown corridor from home. So it's looking nice, and we're going to see the second skate park the city has, and that's great because the city residents around the park during the community engagement portion, that was one of the big things that they were promoting and asking for, and so we made it happen. There's going to be several basketball courts, several soccer fields, and then on the inside we're going to see a renovated Maddox Youth Center, the boxing program, the arts. We have STEAM coming, a STEAM on steroids, I would venture to say, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And the community and the youth around that park have a literal gem that's going to be transformed, not only for them, but for the region. And I would venture to say, throughout District 2. District 2 is not only the west side, it's the south side, it's downtown, it's the airport. And I want to make sure that that's promoted and marketed to youth just beyond that general radius. So with that being said, I'm very happy because I grew up boxing there and have vivid memories of just riding my bike to that park and getting beat up in the boxing ring several times. So I'm happy to report that that's coming to fruition in a timely fashion. I'm going to switch gears into housing. The housing ordinance, the City of Modesto offers residents rental housing safety program, and this program aims to ensure the safety and well-being of responsible residents in rental properties throughout the city. This program helps improve the quality of rental housing in our community. And during the budget cycle, I believe, of 2022, my first year on the council, I advocated for, I believe, ultimately, we got funded around $450,000 approximately, give or take, to put towards hiring a consultant to work on these escalations and be proactive about rental housing, or substandard rental housing in our city. And so here's a prime example of that working and that in action. So the Kansas House, about a month ago, I received a complaint from a small business owner and community advocate that the Kansas House was relatively substandard and basically on its way to dilapidation. And so here's a quick synopsis of the issue, which is currently being worked on. Kansas House has been plagued with persons who do not reside at the property, entering at the property at all hours of the day and night. These persons, among other things, exploit certain residents, sell or consume drugs on the property, sleep in stairwells, participate in vandalism, and sift through dumpsters. In addition, persons come onto the property and dump household items in or near the dumpsters, to include furniture, mattresses, carpeting, and other items. There have also been vehicles abandoned in the parking lot. Access to the site is a continuous challenge. And so with that being said, city staff in collaboration with the county have proposed a mitigation strategy. And that mitigation strategy, I'm going to outline a couple bullet points here. So in the works is a new site fencing and entry control points. Reinforcing existing the site fencing is top priority. Camera upgrades, that whole parcel of land and that facility will get camera upgrades directly connected to the Modesto Police Department's real-time crime center. Dogs, we have experienced a number of issues with canines on the campus. In light of this, we have undertaken strict enforcement of leash requirements. Pest control mandates. So pest control has been a challenge at this property due to just inability of pest control staff to enter units at agreed upon times, poor preparation by some residents, poor housekeeping practices, and so that's one of the issues that we're attempting to mitigate. And so ways to do that is that now residents will receive a 30-day advance notice of the pest control treatment along with instructions on how to prepare for that treatment. And residents are required to allow pest control personnel into their units at the allotted time and date. And so those are the first, that's the approach we're taking. And so that's the rental housing safety program in action. So I'm happy to report that that's working well. It was a good budget allocation, and I'm hoping to get that funded again this coming fiscal year. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Any other comments? I'll make a brief comment. I was invited to attend, and I will read this because I don't want to get it incorrect. Our first ever Downtown Streets Team's Alumni Living Well graduating class. And this is from Alana Scott, who coordinates this program. This is 4 of our Downtown Streets Team members, so these are unhoused people at one point very recently in their lives. She says they have gone from being on the streets to leaders with careers, families, and a heart to give back to those in the same position they were in not too long ago. I would love to introduce you to these amazing women who have not only risen above some of the most extreme challenges, but also embraced the WELL program fully. And it was an honor to be there. Councilmember Wright and Councilmember Williams were there. It was a beautiful occasion. And I want to congratulate the women, again, that graduated from this program, and also their mentors or facilitators. There are 6 women that work, I believe it's weekly meetings where they work together to mentor and help them in their goals, whether they're educational, career, whatever the situation is. And it was really inspiring to see them and the progress that they've made. It's always a delightful group of people to spend time with. All right, so next on the agenda is city manager comments and reports. No reports tonight. Next on the agenda is hearings, item 21. A hearing to consider adopting an ordinance amending various sections and tables within Title 10 of the Modesto Municipal Code relating to accessory dwelling units and approving an agreement with Valley First Credit Union, Modesto, California, for accessory dwelling units ADU revolving loan fund to increase the development of ADUs in the community for a total amount not to exceed $450,000. And we will have a staff report by Jessica Hill, our Economic and Development Department Director.
Great, thank you, Mayor, City Council. A little bit of background. It's not working awesome. There we go. So like many cities in California, Modesto has a limited affordable housing inventory, and many cities have focused on the development of ADUs to be a critical part of their housing stock in the communities. ADUs can be detached, otherwise known as a granny unit or guest house, or they could also be attached, which is just a small addition to the main home. So for a little bit of background, we last updated our ADU ordinance in 2023, but since then the state continues to come out with new legislation that hold the cities to this certain new standards to help encourage the development of ADUs. So most recently, there was 2 other bills passed, AB 976, AB 1033, or 3 other bills passed, and SB 477. So as we went and updated this in accordance with our housing element, we received some feedback from the state of some changes that needed to be made. We took this forward to our Planning Commission on July 15th as well, and they provided separate recommendations to some of our changes. So some of the proposed code amendments is we've clarified language for consistency with the government codes, the zoning, the number of type of ADUs, and the standards for ADUs. Remove some of the old codes, all remnants of the old codes, address the HCD comments, and provided for additional ADU opportunities. One of the key additional ADU opportunities that we're offering now is instead an individual parcel could have one junior ADU or one attached or one detached. And we're just saying instead of one of each, you could have two of any type. And so that's one key item. What I did want to bring up too is the state legislation also has changed all sorts of housing opportunities, and because we're making an ADU change to our church or places of worship areas, I wanted to share with you this SB4 as well. So SB4 actually allows a streamlined process for religious organizations and nonprofit colleges to develop affordable housing on their property regardless of local zoning regulations. And so we are probably going to see with our partnership with our local churches many unique housing opportunities that will be affordable for our community members. One of our biggest proposed ones that's outlined within our housing element is additional ADU opportunities on churches or places of worship. So this is those churches within the residential or commercial zones, and it'll allow the development up to 2 detached ADUs. An ADU couldn't exceed 1,200 square feet. It still has to ensure it has the minimum side setback and rear setbacks, and then couldn't be taller than that 16 feet. So in addition to this, to help encourage development of ADUs, the council actually voted to set aside $450,000 in Measure H funds to help with an accessory dwelling unit revolving loan fund. And so staff has been working diligently with our partner Valley First Credit Union, who has extensive experience in preparing loan programs for Modesto residents. So in the establishment of our revolving loan fund, the goal is to offer different construction loans for those who are interested in building ADUs on their properties. And then as the loans are repaid, they will be recycled back into the community for other parcels and those interested in building ADUs. So some of the key things is we do anticipate the average loan amount to be around $50,000. The interest rate will be 5 points below the Wall Street prime rate with a fixed term of up to 120 months, and so a 10-year period of time. If it is going up to if it's going past a 5-year term, there will be some additions to the interest rate just to ensure that we have that protection of the loan repayment. Some of the applicant requirements: it must be located within the City of Modesto, must have owned the home for at least 6 months, have all property taxes and supplemental taxes must be current, and then the owner must be on the loan as well. Additionally, we want to ensure that all of our accessory dwelling units met the building code compliance. They had a certified construction contractor, and then title insurance was obtained for the loan as well. Like I said, this was a Measure H allocation of $450,000. All repayments of the loan will be redirected to the program. And then Valley First is also very excited about the possibility of looking in, as a CDFI, of looking into other sorts of grants opportunities to increase the amount of funding that will be available in the future. So this will be seed money of the $450,000 to get out, but I do anticipate that we will be able to leverage additional funding to help support the development of ADUs. So if approved, we'll work with Valley First Credit Union to promote the program, and the funds will be available on a first come, first served basis, and we anticipate the program will be able to launch in early 2025. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, does council have any questions from staff? Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Jessica, for that presentation. The question I have is when it comes to the 1,200 square foot size for that ADU, is there still a 500 square foot assessment after that for the school fees? Will that be, or that be waived as well?
So I believe you're referring to the school impact fees. And
Yes,
so the only ADUs that are exempted from school impact fees are below the 500 square feet. So if it's above 500 but less than 1,200, they'd still have to pay the school impact fees.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions from council members? Councilmember Scudia-Brayton.
Thank you, Mayor. The process that we have for approving ADUs Is it the same process we've always had? And either way, what does that look like?
Yeah, so we've been able to streamline our process through a variety of ways for accessory dwelling units. The interested party just has to submit building plans, and then it is actually reviewed by planning at the time of building plan or building plan submitted. And so previously, it would have to go through the planning process first and then building plans, but we were able to streamline that and all in that process. Another thing that we do have for community members is we do have standardized ADU plans, which are already pre-approved. And so people who are interested in building an ADU and don't have plans are able to utilize these sets of plans to actually put that ADU on their property.
So from beginning to end, how much time would that process take to be completed?
So it depends on the completeness of plans, but our building division ensures that we review all building permits within a 30-day period of time. So it could be as quickly as 30 days.
Wonderful, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions regarding item 21 from council members? All right, seeing none, I'll open this up to the public for a public hearing. Are there any members of the public that would like to come forward regarding item 21? Seeing none, I will close public comments. Are there any comments from council members at this time? Councilmember Wright.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, this is a great program. The more rental properties we have out there, the less stress it puts on the rental market, and it helps to stabilize rents and also help bring down rents. Supply and demand is very important, and when you have more supply than demand, you start seeing the rents start dropping. So this is a great program. I'm glad that we're thinking outside the box and that we're really helping our community to make this community better. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Ricky.
Thanks, Mayor. I think that we've talked about this a lot, but one of the main things that we've always been missing on this particular issue has been the funding piece. And how is it that a homeowner is able to put together the funds to build an ADU? And so this is incredibly exciting, and it just kind of comes alongside really nicely with the other pieces that we already have in place, like a lot of the building fees already being waived, like the ADU dashboard that has pre-approved plans, so you don't even need to hire an architect anymore. And we're seeing positive results from that. We went from 12 units a couple of years ago to like 85, the next year, and like another 85 this last year. And we're headed in the right direction. And I think that ADUs are a very important part of our ability to fill this housing gap that we've got in Modesto. And because of work like this by CED, we have a much better chance of getting to that 12,000 unit threshold that we need to hit. Thanks, Mayor.
You're welcome. Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to thank the financial institutions that are here, the Valley First Credit Union, for stepping up to the plate and working with the City of Modesto to make this happen as well. So thank you.
All right, excellent point. Any other comments from council members regarding item 21? All right, this will be two separate votes. First, I have a motion introducing and waiving the first reading of the ordinance amending various sections and tables within Title 10 of the Modesto Municipal Code relating to accessory dwelling units. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Bavaro.
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Alvarez. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmember Scudetto-Brayton.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky. Aye. Councilmember Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwellen.
Aye, carries unanimously. Next is a resolution approving an agreement with Valley First Credit Union, Modesto, California for accessory dwelling unit revolving loan fund to increase the development of ADUs in the community for a total amount not to exceed $450,000 and authorizing the city manager or his designee to negotiate and execute the agreement. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilmember Ricky.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Williams. Will the clerk please call the roll for this item?
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmember Scudetto-Brayton.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwellen.
Aye, carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Next is item 22, a hearing to consider the adoption of an urgency ordinance extending the temporary moratorium on the establishment of new and relocation of or physical expansion of existing tobacco retailer businesses, also known as smoke shops, within the City of Modesto for a period of 10 months and 15 days to become effective immediately. And we will have a report.
All right, Mayor and members of the City Council, the item before you is the extension of the temporary moratorium on all new tobacco retailer businesses, also known as smoke shops, within the city. This is an extension of the 45-day moratorium that the council established on October 8th. The 45 days, I believe, will expire on November 22nd, unless it is extended at tonight's meeting. As reported and discussed on October 8th and in tonight's materials, the city has been dealing with concerns stemming from illegal activity at smoke shops and the negative impacts on the youth and the public. The police department have conducted several inspections on most, if not all, smoke shops and have discovered illegal activity. At the last meeting, our police chief did report on some of those findings, and the agenda report tonight also has articles on inspections that were done after the October 8th meeting. Staff continues to work on regulations dealing with these establishments. We're not done with those ordinances yet. The ordinances will deal with the negative impacts and also with even the new laws dealing with hemp. As the council knows, there were new laws imposed as an emergency measure dealing with hemp, and a lot of these establishments also have been known to sell hemp as part of their products. Pursuant to Government Code Section 65858, a moratorium can be extended by 10 months and 15 days as staff continues to analyze the issue and continues to prepare regulations dealing with the negative impacts. We do not expect an ordinance to take 10 months and 15 days to be before you, but we want to make sure to give staff enough time to complete the ordinance and also make sure that this protection is in place. I will tell the council that we have also been in discussions with the district attorney and the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration regarding these issues, and also coming up with a plan with them on how to enforce or increase enforcement on these establishments. Happy to answer any questions, Mayor.
All right, any questions from council members? Seeing none, I'll now open the public hearing. Are there any members of the public that would like to come forward regarding item 22? Seeing none, I will close public comments and ask council for further comments. Councilmember Bavaro.
Thank you, Mayor. I will be supporting this item, and I also would like to see in this ordinance that the requirements would be equal to what we require for dispensaries with cameras and 24-hour security. Smoke shops cannot survive unless they are involved in illegal activities. They cannot. I've looked at the numbers. There's not enough margin in tobacco products for them to exist. And so all of these tobacco shops, or smoke shops, I should say, and the data shows that they're involved in selling meth, selling mushrooms, cannabis, which they're not allowed to do. And I hope that when the ordinance does come to this council, that it would include cameras as we have in dispensaries, as well as 24-hour security guards. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank the Modesto Police Department and all of its code enforcement officers, and even our attorney, who has dove into this and have come up with the right language to take care of this situation that has plagued our city for a very long time. and particularly our young people. Our young people are the ones that are most vulnerable, and so I appreciate what the work of the police department and the code enforcement officers. And lastly, Mayor, I'd like to say happy Thanksgiving to each and every family member. We will not be having a city council meeting at all until December. Enjoy your family, enjoy being together, and that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Ricky.
Thanks, Mayor. I just want to echo Councilmember Bavaro's sentiments here. We do have serious issues with smoke shops, in our city. I believe we're beginning to take the first steps. But based on what we've found over the last year, through police department interactions, I think it's very reasonable to start treating smoke shops more like dispensaries than just straight up just little tobacco stores, because clearly that's not what they are. So I'm looking forward to staff bringing us an ordinance sooner rather than later, because it's the right thing to do. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Any other comments from council members regarding item 22? Seeing none, I have a motion adopting an urgency ordinance of the City of Modesto making findings and extending the temporary moratorium on the establishment of new and relocation or physical expansion of existing tobacco retailer businesses, also known as smoke shops, within the City of Modesto for a period of 10 months and 15 days to become effective immediately. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Councilmember Wright.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Scudia Brayton. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Wright.
Aye.
Councilmember Scutia Brayton.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Alvarez.
Aye.
Councilmember Ricky.
Aye.
Councilmember Bavaro.
Aye.
Councilmember Williams.
Aye.
And Mayor Zwollen.
Aye. Carries unanimously. Are there any matters too late for the agenda? Seeing none, I'm calling this meeting of the City Council to be adjourned.